Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. So in today's daily challenge of Leetcode, I will show you a simple O of n solution, which will be very easy to understand. So definitely hit the subscribe button and also comment how you like the video. So the maximum Manhattan distance after k changes. Let's read the problem statement. You are given a string S consisting of north, south, east, and west written, and S of I indicates movement in an infinite grid starting from the origin. North means you move to north, and south, east, and west means you move towards those direction by 1 unit. And you can change at most k characters to any of the four directions. Find the maximum Manhattan distance from the origin that can be achieved at any time. So this is very important to note that can be achieved at any time while performing movements in the order. So while you are, let's say, traversing to the string, what is the maximum Manhattan distance achieved at any time, not at the end of the string? Okay. So, uh, and Manhattan distance, if you know, between two coordinates, xi, yi and xj, yj is given by this. Okay. So I will give you intuition of what is Manhattan distance also. So these are the examples which are written. So definitely you should try this problem on your own before seeing my solution. And this is the kind of problem if you try sufficiently, and if you go to the wrong direction initially, it will be very difficult to come back, and this problem might look very difficult to you. But once you are in the right path, this is a very simple solution, and short one also, and very easy to understand. So let's take this example. For all case, I will just show you NSWWEW. Okay, so NSWWEW. Okay. So what do you mean by Manhattan distance? If you don't know, if you are given a coordinate, and you have to go from this point A to, let's say, this point B, Manhattan distance is given by this value plus this value. So if you want to go from A to B, not in this is the Euclidean distance, right? From the shortest path from A to B. But if you want to go via the abscissa and horizontal and vertical lines only, then this xi and yi, this is known as, this sum of these two xi plus yi is known as Manhattan distance. Okay. So let's say if you are moving like this, you increase your Manhattan distance by. So let's say this is the origin. If you move this way, you increase your Manhattan distance by 1, and then again if you move up, you again increase it by 1, because 1 plus 1 is 2 now. Then again if you move right, you again increase by 1, and then again if you move top, again you increase by 1. Now if you move towards the left, you decrease by 1. Okay, because this, you see what was the distance at here. It was 1 2 3 4, and now it's what, it's 1 2 3. Okay, so 4 to 3 it has decreased. So that's how we just calculate the Manhattan distance. uh so first of all, I would like to show you the run of this thing, the example. So let's say we have the k value here as 1. That is, we are allowed to make only one changes. Okay, so we will see how k, if moves from 1 to 2 to 2 to 3, and let's say k equals to 5, or k equals to 100. Okay, what will happen in these cases for to this string? Okay, we will just try to analyze. So first try to see what happens exactly is that you first move to the north. You start from the zero, you first move to the north, and then again you go to the south. Then again you go to the west once, and then again west once, and you go to the east now, and then again you go to the west. Okay, so the maximum Manhattan distance achieved here, you can see from this origin x, let's say, is this length, because this is of 2 length, right? This is of 2 unit, and that's it. That is only the maximum achieved in any time. Okay, in any time. So what can you see? What can you see from here? So you can change one of the east to west. First of all, an intuition might come to you that you can change one of the east to west. In that case, what will happen? You will move one distance to north, one distance to south again. Then you will keep moving west 4 times. Okay, you will keep moving west 4 times. So you achieved a Manhattan distance this time of 4. Okay. So I will like to ask you a question that let's say I was given a very long string. I was given a very long string, and at each time I need to find the Manhattan distance. So let's say at point I am at point I, and I want to find the Manhattan distance from 0. And in this length of the string from 0 to I have, let's say, 6 north and 4 south. Okay. So what does that mean? What will be the contribution of Manhattan distance from all these? Okay, so if you go to north, no matter in what order you are traversing, if you go to north in some direction and you come to south, you decrease the Manhattan distance, right? So if you go to north by 6 units, let's say you increase by 6 and then you decrease by 4. Okay, so this is 2, but you are going to perform one operation. So now what if you change this south to north, and let's say you will now have 7 north and 3 south. Okay, so if you change one north to south, you see you increased your Manhattan distance by how much? You increased your Manhattan distance by 2. Okay, so it is always possible to increase the Manhattan distance by 2 by see, you have two kinds of movements. Visualize it as you have two kinds of movements. You can either go to the north south, this is the north south direction, or the horizontal movement, I will call it horizontal movement, or you can go to east west. Okay, this is the this is the sorry, this is not the horizontal, this was the vertical movement, and this is the horizontal movement, whatever. Okay, you just name it. So uh, if you call this east west and if you call this north south horizontal and vertical movements, you see that whichever is the less occurring, if you change that to the more occurring in the same direction, so south is the less occurring than north, if you change south to north, you are able to increase your Manhattan distance by 2. What if you would have changed the north to south? Then you would have actually decreased, you would have got 5 north and 5 south, which would result in 0, which will result in 0. Okay, and if you have something like 4 north and 6 south initially, it is beneficial to increase this thing. Okay, even if you are going negative, you will take the absolute value, because that's the distance you are asking for, the distance. So it's always beneficial to increase this and decrease this. So again, the 3 north and 7 south, you want to make it if you want to I mean operate it once. Okay, so what you do is you take one of the directions of the vertical one. So if you take north south, okay, whichever is the minimum, you pick whichever is the minimum. Let's say south is the minimum, you convert that to north. In this case, you will increase your Manhattan by 2. And similarly, in the east west one, whichever is the minimum, if you convert the to the opposite one, you will get increased by 2. And if you are thinking that what if I change something like south to east, something you do like this. So if you see, you cannot get increment of more than what I am saying. So let's say you have something like north, you have something like let's say 6 north and 4 south. Okay, so if you want to change to something like 3 south and 1 east, what is the increment in the Manhattan distance? Initially it was 2, 6 minus 4, now it is 6 minus 3 plus 1. Okay, so that's nothing but 4 again, so it's an increment of 2. So whatever you do, you cannot achieve an increment of more than 2. So okay, so that is also only by doing these things, right? So so that's why you need to perform these kind of operations, that whichever is the minimum of the same direction, I will just take that and convert. Okay, so now I will again return to this north south, west west, east west. Okay, so I will again return to this problem: north south west west east west. Okay, so I have, first you count how many north I have. I have 1 north, I have 1 south, I have 3 west, I have 1 east. Okay, so what can I do is that how can I increment the with some operations? Okay, how can I increment with some operations? So if I perform one operation from east, this is the less occurring among east and west, so I will perform this and convert it to 4 west. Okay, I can do what these are equal, so I can do it either way. I can convert this north to south or south to north. So what will happen is that I can convert it with, if I have 1k, if I have k equals to 1, I will only be able to do this. So if you see, initially what was the Manhattan distance we had? Initially we had it to be it 2, right? as I already calculated, you go to north once, south, then again west, west, east, west. Okay, so you have two initially. You have initially two. So if you convert this to 4 west, you got to 4. Okay, so and now for k equals to 2, if you convert it to, something like uh 2 north, right? Then you get something like 2 north and 4 west. Then you get for k equals to 2, you get increase to 6. Okay, so that is the maximum if you achieved. Now if you take k equals to 3, still the answer is 6. Okay, now if you, even if you go for k equals to 100, even if you go for k equals to 100, okay, still answer is 6. So what do you see? To what value is the answer clipped? You can see the answer is clipped to the length of the string. Answer is clipped to the length of the string for large k values. For large k values. Okay. So what you can do, what can I do? Can I tell you that for every index, I need to just calculate nothing. But let's say what will be the difference? What will be the initial difference between this north minus south, plus the initial difference is east minus west? Okay, so this is nothing but the count of north, count of south. I will just hold it in 4 variables. And if I do this, what does this mean? This means that I have something like this, which is north minus south is getting 0 here, and west minus east absolute value is getting 3 minus 1, which is 2. So here what I am doing is that I am calculating the Manhattan distance of the whole string without changing anything. Now, if I were to perform all the k operations, and if I were to successfully perform, all the k operations, so what will happen? What will happen? I will end up in adding 2k. Okay, but you may ask that if you can perform all the k only if this it is possible, only if it is possible. What if it is not possible? Let's say k is 100, then some of the k you will perform and some of the k you will not perform. In the very large values of k, your answer will get clipped to, if you are at index I. So let's say you are iterating in the string and you are at index I. So what is the length of the string till that one? I plus 1, right? So if you are at index 5, that means that you have the length of the string to be 6, because index starts from 0, you know that. So it gets clipped to I plus 1, you can say that, right? Or if you are at the last value, it gets clipped to n plus 1. So if you just modify your answer according to this, you will get everything. You will get everything, and it becomes very simple. It becomes very simple. So let's try to code it out. If you don't understand, definitely ask me in the comment section. But this, I guess, is would be really easy for you to understand once you see the complete code. So you have k, So every time what you do, you go to the string. You have an answer variable. Okay, you have an answer variable. You go to the string, each element of the string, and you have, let's say you have 4 variables. Okay, east, west, north, and south. Okay, so you just count every one of them. So how will you count? It's simple. If s of I equals to let's say east. Okay, so you got to increment something like east plus plus. Else if s of I equals to west, you got to increment something like west plus plus. Else if you have something like, let's say you have s of I equals to north, you increment something like north plus plus. Else only possible option is south, so you increment south plus plus. So you got to, at every index I, you are getting that what is the count stored, and as I told you, you can just maximize your answer by saying that max of answer equals to max of answer, comma, as I told you, you first find without any operations what is the max, what is the value, right? Without any operation, what is the value in the north south direction, plus what is the value in the east west direction, and what is the value if you perform all that k operations. You don't have the choice to perform I mean, some operations, I mean, less than k if it is performable. If it is performable, you need to perform all the k operations. You do not have any choice to perform less than k operation. Only choice if you have is that k is very large, and that case your value gets clipped to I plus 1. Okay, your value gets clipped to I plus 1. I will take the minimum of these. I will take the minimum of these two. Okay. So that's all. I guess this code was very simple to understand, right? I returned answer. I just think this code was really easy to understand. So that's why I told you, if you follow the correct path, this will be a very simple problem. If I try to run this and check if I have done any error or not, you see we have the accepted thing. If you try to submit this, if you try to submit this, you will get accepted, I guess. Yes, you have accepted, and you have also a pretty good runtime and memory complexity, because all you used was your intuition and logic, okay, and nothing else. And the approach becomes really simple. So that's all for this video, I guess. Also remember to keep following my DP playlist. I will be regularly uploading videos to that. I am teaching, I mean, DP from very scratch to very advanced. So you just try to follow that playlist. It will be definitely be helpful for your placements or whichever job switch you are looking for. So yeah, that's all for this video. That was all. This was a medium kind of problem of Leetcode uh, for today's daily challenge, and I hope your day is going to be very easy. Thank you so much. Thank you.